Hi everyone, it's Giselle with another message and another dream message, would you believe it? I said yesterday in my video that dreams have been just so active lately, I'm just getting one after the other. And again, without really asking or thinking about getting a dream about my twin last night, I got another one. And so I share these messages because I've received so much feedback from people that I read for, or even just people who post comments here on my YouTube channel, that these dream messages and the analyzing of them helps them tremendously because either they've dreamt something very similarly or they've asked a question in their life and somehow through my message it's being answered for them. So I always find it quite interesting as well to read all of the synchronicities to the people who are drawn on to my channel, basically. So, where do I start? I would like to mention that this not full moon, it's been a new moon, but this new moon carries with it such crazy full moon energy. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but it's activated so much in me again, and people around me. Is just so crazy. But anyway, my dream. So yesterday, as I was getting ready for bed, I have a bit of a nighttime routine where I just like to unwind and wash my face and put on this really lovely night cream that I got as a sample. It just smells so amazing. I like to use it as not just a night cream, but also a manifestation tool to just say to the universe, thank you for allowing me to sample such a lovely night cream. And I just wish to have more of that and things similar to it in my life. And so it's just to help you really physically feel the luxury and richness of what you could have and then to manifest that into the physical. As a little tip for you there, I hope that, people who are trying to manifest material wealth and physical things can use that to their advantage. Because this night cream is, I think if you bought it in the shop in its full size, it would be £100. So it's not a cheapy cream, it's a really quite expensive night cream. I mean, I don't think I own any night creams that are that expensive. I think my Estee Lauder was about £50 for my day cream, but that's about it. So to be putting this stuff on my face feels absolutely amazing. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit distracted here. I'm sorry. But I do like to put little tips on how to manifest here and there because I feel that it would help people. So we could all do with a bit of more abundance, can't we? So that's always very nice. So anyway, I was popping my night cream on and then I was just kind of evaluating my day and also thinking about the energy of my twin and why he's so wanting to contact me. And then I thought about our last conversation, and the reason why he may have felt like he needed to pull back again was because he had said something that he may now regret. And as I was putting the cream on my face, I kind of thought of that and I thought, oh, that could be a massive hurdle for him right now, but I'll allow him to take his power. I don't want to do things for him. He needs to step into his power, basically. And this is why I'll allow him to come forward, because it's important for him to do so. And so I kind of pondered on that thought and I went to sleep, not thinking about it or wanting to resolve it. It was actually something that I thought I'd already resolved. But of course, dreams are very good at clarifying stuff, especially now. I feel that's all my dreams have been doing is clarifying our situation, what's going on the physical more than anything, because I already know what's going on in the spiritual. I can feel it, but the physical sometimes is a bit more tricky to navigate. And so I dreamt something very interesting. So I dreamt that I was on a tour bus. I don't know why. It was like a big bus. It wasn't just a public transport. It felt like more like a tour bus situation where people had a kitchen and some sort of bed, something, sleeping arrangements, comfy sofas to sit on. And so I dreamt that I was with my twin and several of his friends, which to me indicates, okay, so he's thinking about getting me integrated into his life. That's awesome. But then we were joking around and I remember him saying to me, oh, what's the weirdest thing that you've eaten? And I jokingly said, oh, I think it must have been dog food as a joke, you know, as a laugh. And I never had dog food in my real life. I once jokingly would pretend to my dog that I'd eat his biscuits, but that's about it. I don't know why I would. I don't know, it's a weird dream. Anyway, what he said to me then was, well, I used to eat glass. I thought, ew, like that's very dangerous, and why would you do that? Why? But of course I know that that's not a thing, because if my twin really ate glass, I don't think he would be here. But anyway, I looked that up in the morning, and this is the reason why dreams are so shocking sometimes and so vivid and so unusual. It's so that we will remember them when we wake up. Because if I just had a dream about a normal interaction between me and him, it wouldn't be as memorable. And weird contents of dreams usually hold with them very in-depth messages, rather than if my twin, say for instance, came to me in a dream and said, I'm sorry, I'd remember it and that'd be fine. But this holds so much more info, because I know a lot of the times you can't always remember the dream with all of the intricacies that come along with it. So I researched this in the morning. I was like, what does this mean? And it turns out that it's relating to cutting words. And then I thought back about, oh, hold on a moment. When I was putting my night cream on, I was thinking about how he felt that his words were not appropriate and that he could have expressed himself better. And then it clicked. It's like, oh, okay, so what he meant to say was, I'm sorry for what I said last time and I will do better next time. And it all makes sense. So whilst I didn't even need clarification for the thoughts that I was having about our last conversation last night, it came through anyway, because when I do things like putting cream on my face or washing my hands or washing my hair or doing the dishes or hoovering or whatever, my mind is usually free, roaming free in the ether somewhere where I'm not really actively thinking, but more receiving thought. And so the thought that I was receiving around our last conversation and the things that he'd said were to trigger this, okay, so you're going to be receiving this thought from the universe because this is something you need to resolve. And then this dream gave me the resolution. So basically, he feels bad about how our last conversation went. And it wasn't a bad conversation as such. It's just that he could have handled it better. He could have said things that he actually meant, rather than trying to fish for information and not being truthful. Well, not truthful. There's a difference between wearing your heart on your sleeve and beating around the bush, like, you know, going around the houses to try and get information because you're not confident of yourself, basically. So that's the message I received, is I'm sorry for what I've said. I should have handled it better. I should have worn my heart on my sleeve, and I should have just been more open and honest and in balance and in touch with my emotions. But since then, from all of the information that I've gathered from other dreams, I know that he's definitely been working on balancing himself and being more in touch with his emotions. So it's kind of saying, look, I'm ready now to wear my heart on my sleeve, basically. And I'm sorry for how I dealt with things before, and I want to do better next time. And this, again, is in keeping with what he's always energetically let me feel, is when I am back for good. And you don't have to be afraid about me saying the wrong things anymore, because I am confident in who I am, and I don't need to say the wrong things anymore, because the wrong things came from someone who was a bit insecure, and that's not me. I am secure, and I want to say the correct things to make you happy, because I know that you'd be doing the same for me. And I wanted to share that with you too, in case that was something that you were wondering about, because it's crazy how I sometimes don't even expect anyone to get anything from these dream messages, but they somehow do, and it's awesome. And what I also want to say to people is that if you're person, the person you think is your twin flame, is being abusive, being nasty, being toxic, poisonous, absolutely horrible, don't stay in that situation. I do not believe that that's a twin flame situation. People get really confused for some weird reason. They think that they need to put up with really poor behavior, with toxic behavior, with abusive behavior. That is not a twin flame thing. I promise you. My twin has said some really crazy and odd stuff in the past, but never, ever has he been disrespectful, abusive, nasty, none of those things. And for people to describe their twin flames as sociopathic or psychopathic or narcissistic, that is not a twin flame thing. Unfortunately for you, you need to get away from that, you know? Well, it's not unfortunate, it's fortunately for you. You need to come to the realization that that is not acceptable behavior and you need to get away. So I just want to make that clear to people, because I don't know why there is this weird confusion with wanting to tolerate unacceptable behavior. If my twin ever disrespected me or treated me utterly poorly and like I was just, you know, I don't know, I don't want to swear on my channel, but I would not tolerate any of that, I can promise you. You know, abuse and any of that behavior is not twin flame behavior, let me tell you that. So, now that that's cleared up, I hope that this message resonates and that this has helped anyone who is drawn to view this message. Let me know in the comments. I'm very interested to know your experiences too. And yeah, I thank everybody for taking time out of their day to view my messages and to book readings with me. I'm so grateful to have so many of you just, yeah, to work with and to see your progress. It's so amazing, and I'm very grateful to have all of you here. So if you'd like to connect with me, all my details are in the description. Thank you all so very much for watching and have a beautiful day. Namaste.